Your brain is literally addicted to negativity. Right now, as you're watching this, your mind is scanning for problems, threats, and everything that could go wrong. And if you're over 40, this gets worse. But here's what neuroscience reveals. Your brain can be rewired in as little as 21 days. I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from the drama addiction that's hijacked your happiness. But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time you went an entire day without criticizing yourself? Can't remember? You're not alone, and it's not your fault. Here's the thing about our brains. They're incredible survival machines, but they're working with ancient programming. Imagine your brain as a security system that's been set to high alert for thousands of years. It's constantly scanning for danger, problems, and threats. This served our ancestors well when they needed to spot predators, but now it's making us miserable. Your brain has something called a negativity bias. Brain needs about 5 positive experiences to balance it out. It's like your mind is a Velcro surface for negative thoughts and a Teflon surface for positive ones. And here's where it gets really challenging for people in midlife. As we age, our brains actually become more efficient at pattern recognition, which sounds great, right? However, if those patterns are negative, we become exceptionally skilled at identifying problems, predicting disasters, and self-criticism. Picture this scenario. You walk into a room of people, and instead of noticing all the warm smiles, you zone in on the one person who seems distractive. That's your brain doing its job, but it's the wrong job for the life most of us want to live. So, what does this drama addiction actually cost you? Let me paint a picture of what this looks like in real life. You wake up, and before your feet hit the floor, your mind is already running through everything that could possibly go wrong today. You're rehearsing conversations that haven't happened yet, imagining worst case scenarios that probably never will happen, and you catch yourself in the mirror and immediately start the internal criticism. Look at those wrinkles. Oop, I look tired today. I should have exercised more. At work, you second guess decisions. You replay that meeting from 3 days ago, wondering if you said something wrong. You assume that the text from your friend with the okay means they're upset with you. And relationships, they suffer the most. Many of us are so busy managing the chaos in our heads that we can't be fully present with the people we love. Because of this, we project our internal drama onto external situations. Your partner asks a simple question about dinner, and somehow it becomes evidence that they think you're failing at everything. The exhausting part? None of this actually keeps you safer. All this mental drama, all this preparation for disaster, it doesn't prevent problems. It just steals your joy, your energy, and your ability to see beautiful moments that are happening right now. But here's what gives me hope, and what should give you hope too. Your brain's ability to change. What scientists call neuroplasticity doesn't disappear as you age. In fact, in some ways, it gets stronger. What I'm about to share with you is something from my positive perspective method. It's based on the principle that you can't just stop negative thoughts. You have to replace them with something stronger. Think of your brain like a garden. You can't just pull weeds and expect flowers to grow. You have to plant new seeds. Neuroplasticity research shows us that our brains are constantly forming new neural pathways based on what we focus on repeatedly. Every thought you think is literally reshaping your brain. Here's the beautiful part about being over 40. Your brain has developed something called cognitive reserve. You have decades of experience, wisdom, and pattern recognition that you can now redirect towards achieving positive outcomes instead of making negative predictions. The way this shift works is this: instead of trying to suppress negative thoughts, which never works anyway, you're going to become a thought detective. When that familiar negative voice starts its commentary, you pause and ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is this thought about the past, the future, or right now? Most negative thoughts are either rehearsing old pain or rehearsing future fears. They're almost never about the present moment. So the shift is from future fears to present facts. Imagine if instead of waking up and immediately scanning for problems, you trained your brain to scan for possibilities. Instead of looking in the mirror and cataloging flaws, you looked for evidence of strength, resilience, and beauty. Instead of assuming the worst in social situations, you started assuming the best. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending problems don't exist. It's about retraining your brain's default settings from what could go wrong to what could go right. It's about becoming the CEO of your own thoughts instead of letting them run wild. The research on neuroplasticity tells us that consistent practice creates lasting change. But consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means showing up for your own mental wellness the same way you would show up for a good friend. Let me give you 3 specific ways to start implementing this right now. First, the 3-2-1 reset. When you catch yourself spiraling into negative thoughts, take 3 deep breaths. Name 2 things you could see right now and identify 1 thing you're grateful for in this moment. This interrupts the neural pathway that's firing and gives you a chance to choose a different thought direction. Second, the evidence test. Your negative thoughts are often terrible witnesses. They exaggerate, they assume, they jump to conclusions. So when a negative thought shows up, ask it for evidence. What proof do you actually have that this bad thing will happen? Usually, there isn't any real evidence, just fear dressed up as fact. And third, best friend filter. Ask yourself, would I talk to my best friend the way I'm talking to myself right now? If the answer is no, then you've identified a thought that needs to be shifted. Talk to yourself with the same kindness you'd show someone you care about. Here's what's incredible about these techniques. They work faster than you would even expect. Your brain is constantly seeking patterns to follow. And when you consistently provide it with a new positive pattern, it begins to prefer that pathway. It's like creating a new habit, but for your thoughts. The key is catching yourself in the moment. The sooner you can interrupt a negative thought spiral, the easier it is to redirect. And with practice, this becomes automatic. The beautiful thing about neuroplasticity is that it doesn't discriminate by age. Your 45-year-old brain is just as capable of change as your 25-year-old brain. Sometimes even more so because you have the wisdom and life experience to recognize why this change matters. Many people in midlife have told me that their negative thinking is just getting worse. But what's actually happening is that we become more aware of it. And awareness is the first step to transformation. You don't have to live in a brain that's constantly predicting disaster. You don't have to be your own worst critic. You can literally rewire those pathways and create a mind that works for you instead of against you. If you want to dive deeper into this, please go to PamelaStarusta.com for additional information and resources. Also, I would love to connect with you and answer any questions you may have. You can find my email at the bottom of each page on my website. And if this video helped you see your thoughts differently, hit the like button. It tells YouTube to share this information with other people who might need to hear this message also. and subscribe for more content on rewiring your mindset and creating the life you actually want. I'm here to support you on this journey. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next video.